This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. Welcome in. Follow the Money on VSiN, the sports betting network. Mitch Moss along with Paulie Howard. We're live in downtown Vegas. Circa Resort and Casino is your spot. As always, loaded program lined up over the next 3 hours. Tons looking back at what happened last night, moving forward into tomorrow's action. Tonight's playoff games on the board that we have. Little Major League Baseball action today as well. Great guest today on the show, Nigel Seeley. Big weekend in the Prim. He'll go over some best bets with analysis. Appointment, TV, and radio today. 5:15 Eastern, Eddie Olczyk. How he sees the Kentucky Derby going tomorrow and a little on the NHL. Doug Kazarian told me, other than the Knicks last night, maybe the best bet that he has in the NBA playoffs. Matt Moore on the show. He lives in Denver. Great pulse of the NBA. What happens next with Denver? And a member of the FTM Army, Donnie Miller, with a terrific Kentucky Derby story from 20 years ago. Well, Paulie, how are you? I mean, I'm kind of, as someone who grew up across the border from Minneapolis, I'm kind of sick and tired of these Minneapolis sports teams coming up smelling like roses every single year. I mean, same old for you. Again, What a night last night.
Yep. Should have played the parlay, but I don't know where it ranks all time. I don't know what the big victory is for the T-Wolves. Is there a 14-point underdog in game one? But an embarrassing performance by Denver. And for McDaniels to run his mouth and back up the trash talk like that. And for them to be, you're playing 8 guys. And they win the game and win the series. And it was just incredible as they exercised the demons then at St. Paul as they finally win for the first time since 2015. I don't know if you go back to the day they drafted Randy Moss or maybe the Twins in 1991. But an incredible sports day in the Twin Cities. And somehow they get it done with the T-Wolves, and I'm still shocked at how bad Denver played the entire series and what McDaniels did offensively and defensively. And listener Lance, who laddered his points, he was 12-1 to have 30 points. And your guy Shannon also was key in the win after Finch gave him a big pep talk.
Well,
your
by the way,
defense stinks, and he was 10-1 to have 20 points. It's still it's very embarrassing though for Denver, no doubt.
I loved what Finch said after the game. He said, silly me, here I had him buried in the corner the entire time until we realized, you know what, he needs to have, speaking of Shannon, has to have the ball in his hands. And boy, did they unlock something last night. But here's the deal again. As I said before the series, I have big-time regrets here by not betting Minnesota to win. I'm like, they've been to the Western Conference Finals 2 years in a row, and yet they're almost 3-1 to win this outright. I get what else do they have to do to prove to people that they're super deep and they're way more than Anthony Edwards? Like, the narrative on this team is completely ass backwards across the country. And one more thing that I added, if they were called the Los Angeles Timberwolves or the New York Timberwolves, they'd be one of the most popular teams in the league. But I guess they're buried in a small market, so people are just like, nah, we can't take them seriously. They're loaded. I mean, these guys can't even get on the court when DiVincenzo and Edwards are healthy. So the roster construction on this team has been fantastic now, like 3 or 4 years running. We have to admit, by the way, that Gobert trade has worked out beautifully.
Yeah. Well, how many breaks do you need, though, if you're Denver? And no DeSumo before the game as well, because he was awesome in the first 2 home games. Like, how many injuries do you need to survive? And I know you don't have Gordon, but what McDaniels did to Murray and the questions now, I'm here for what happens in the offseason. And perfect timing with Matt Moore. Because after the game, Joker had a couple good comments. One, he wants to stay in Denver forever. 2, he said if we were in Serbia, they'd fire all of us.
Right.
So is it a new coach? Do they move on from Murray? The Brown contract extension just kicks in. Watson appears to be gone. Gordon cannot stay healthy. He couldn't even get through the first round of the playoffs. And again, you have ownership that refuses to spend money and build around Joker and bring in pieces.
This is what people get wrong, by the way, about Denver. It's because Nikola Jokic is so good, that team has unfair expectations. And the fact that he actually won a title, we should be probably doing the whole Wayne's World we're not worthy bit more to him. Because when you look at that again, just look at those 2 teams compared to each other on the court and the overall individual talent. And you're telling me that Denver was, 360 to win the series? That's how much we think of Joker overall.
They had that 14-game winning streak coming in, too,
Sure they did.
after they won Game 1. So it was a lot of people bet them and picked them to go to the conference finals or win the whole damn thing.
I couldn't believe the number on the Spurs to win the series against Minnesota. A 3,000 favorite is what they opened up.
So Portland's better than this current Minnesota team is what they're telling us.
That's outrageous.
The series price is higher. The Game 1 price is higher. They could get Ant back in the middle of the series.
Yeah. They were 13-1. The market is, they said that's way too rich. We had to take some of that. I missed the 13-1, but I did take plus 14 in Game 1. I mean, McDaniels is a bona fide superstar if he was on a different team.
Yep.
Mid-range, by the way. That's what
right.
it looks like when you don't have to settle for 58 threes a game.
That's right.
And I found it very refreshing last night.
Right, yep. Shannon attacking the basket. McDaniels mid-range. You get DeSumo back. You hope. You're going against the alien and all their talent. But that's certainly no respect and shock that opened 3,000 at some spots.
Can't wait to see what Denver's now going to have to retool like in the offseason to try to make it work with Joker. It's the same thing going on in Milwaukee, by the way. Same exact thing. And what happens if the Celtics lose Game 7 to Philadelphia?
Yeah.
What do they do? What's the next play?
Yep. Joker goes out. Questions about the future in the organization. McDavid goes out. What happens there? The money quote, we were average all year long.
All year long.
You're not going to go anywhere when you're average. And what happens if the Celtics lose tomorrow? Because if you just pulled a casual fan in and watched the last 2 games, you would say Philly's one of the best teams, not Boston.
You're right.
They've dominated the last 2. They're getting much better shot selection. Maybe the suspension benefited PG. He looks fresh. He continues to score. They only get 6 bench points and still win. George, 17 of the last 19 games. He's had at least 15. Now, they haven't won a series against him since 82, and they're 0-18 all-time down 3-1. And the public's all over him. But the public was all over the Knicks, though, yesterday, too. And that won easy. But it's hard to say. Give me Boston in the 8 tomorrow night, and you got a hobbled Tatum as well. But then again, it all comes down to the three-point shot. And if it falls in, and under Missoula in the playoffs, 17-1 when they shoot better than 40%, 500 team under 40%, 4-9 when they shoot under 30%. But, look at this, and it wasn't that long ago. They were like 200-1 to win the East. When they were down and out. But there's a lot of talent on this Philadelphia team.
Yeah, I would say the one part of this whole thing that scares me is you're right. Julian Edlow from DraftKings tweeted this out earlier today. 96% of the spread handle on the Sixers at plus 7.5 at DraftKings. 79% of the money line handle on Philadelphia plus 250. That is overwhelming, and that's based on the last 2 games. But you're right, and maybe it took 1 game for Embiid to come back and then for this team to figure it out. They do have a ton of talent. We all know this. It's never really worked out for a deep playoff run before. I would ask you this going into the game. Just for a one-off here, a Game 7 in Boston, who's the best player on the court?
Should be Tatum. He had 51 in a Game 7 last time they played. It should be Tatum.
But is he the same Tatum pre-injury?
Yes, at times he's been, yeah. I don't know what to do with Brown. Brown's been bad at times in this series too.
Brown, isn't it funny how Brown had a career year without Jason Tatum?
Yeah.
I think this is what I said the other day. I'm going to be the Lone Ranger on this. I understand it. I don't care. I will shout this from the mountaintop until somebody listens and says, you know what, I think you might be onto something. This team's better without Jason Tatum. I think that he's the real problem because it's not the same offense. It doesn't look as good. He's a ball stopper on offense as well. And they accomplished everything this year without that guy. And now he comes back in, and this is the same exact team that we've watched basically all of the last 5 years in the playoffs.
I'm here for anything.
So
trades, who's going to win the East? The Knicks might be the best seed when it's all said and done after the first round.
They are 3-1 right now at some books to win the East.
Yeah. What if Sixers were a huge ticket? The Knicks are 3-1. The Cavs still have to advance tonight. The 1 seed's down. The 1 could lose. The 4 could lose. The 2 could lose. The Knicks might be the best seed. And Knicks fans are loving life. And it's a tough turnaround for whoever wins tomorrow night. Is you got to play the Knicks on Monday. And the Knicks look fantastic as they've found this new offense with Cat.
Right. Don't even think of the game from last night. But don't you kind of have to love the Knicks regardless of who they play in the next round? And maybe I better be careful with that because it's like careful what you wish for. And just in case it is Philadelphia, you're going to be like, oh, we're going to go to the finals. Not that easy. Just ask that team last year when they had Indiana to get there and they couldn't get that job done. But I think that I would love the Knicks in a series against Boston. I think I would love them.
Did you get a series price?
I haven't seen one yet. I looked all over the place.
Okay.
No.
It's going to be Boston will probably be high too if they're
I would
able
imagine.
to do it. But that's and everything that transpired last night. I think the biggest surprise was what happened to Atlanta. How are you down 62-19 in the second quarter of a closeout playoff game at home? A 65-10 run. 3 minutes into the second quarter, OG was plus 32 in the game. I've never seen anything like it.
Kuminga was minus 40 in the first half.
Impossible.
Data goes back like more than a generation, more than 2 generations. That's the biggest number of all time.
They're down 48 and a half at the half, and they're only laying 3. And they couldn't cover.
Couldn't cover. My only example of anything close to that would be 2022 Suns Game 7 at home to the Mavericks.
Yeah.
When and last night was worse, actually.
Down 60 in a playoff game at home.
Right. And I was listening to Primetime. I was watching it in the YouTube multi-view last night I had 3 games on, and I had Murray and Humans, and they kept saying, do you want to take the 45 and a half? Do you want to take the 50? Do you want to take the 57 and a half? And they just at some point there was a number that felt no, I really don't. You're right. How does that happen? How?
I know. You play a high school team, that shouldn't happen. 62-19 in the second quarter. I could not believe it. You're right. It got to 58 and a half in play.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that's a good point. If the Knicks had played Michigan last night, do the Wolverines get down by 60 points in the game? I don't know if they do.
No, impossible. Yeah. And Cat did it again. 70-1 triple-double. FanDuel with the best prices.
We will spin it forward to tonight's action. I'll give you an angle that was 1-1 last night, but 22-9 ATS over the last 31 tries coming up on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Racetrack Television Network brings you every race, from every track, on every screen, every day. With monthly packages starting as low as $5, RTN gives you great value and access to more live HD streaming and race replays than anyone. Visit RTN.tv today to sign up and watch on almost any device, including Roku and Amazon Fire. Use promo code TRYRTN for a 5-day free trial.
This is VSiN, a network of sports betting analysts, writers, hosts, and handicappers, all here to help you become a more confident bettor. We broadcast live every day from Las Vegas, the sports betting capital of the world, and from studios across the country, giving you insight from every angle of the action. Take VSiN with you wherever you go with the VSiN Watch app, or catch us on streaming platforms and regional sports networks. You can also listen live on SiriusXM Channel 158 and on radio stations nationwide. Check out VSiN.com as well for betting tools, exclusive betting splits, AI-powered player prop projections from Opta, pro picks for every game, plus in-depth betting guides and articles built to give you an edge. From sharp betting analysis and daily best bets to insider interviews and expert breakdowns, VSiN is your trusted source for everything happening in the world of sports betting. See everything we have to offer at VSiN.com and become part of the Sports Betting Network.
Hey everybody, Jensen Lewis here, co-host of VSiN by the Books with my man Dave Ross. Tune in Monday as we recap a massive weekend in sports. We'll react to everything from the NBA and NHL playoffs, Major League Baseball, the Kentucky Derby, and so much more. As always, joined by a stacked guest list, including Zachary Cohen and Will Hill's Best Bets, as well as NHL.com's Pete Jensen. It's VSiN by the Books, a Monday edition, 7 to 10 a.m. Eastern on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Another great night of playoff action on tap for tonight in the NBA. Rockets are 3.5 at home in Game 6, trailing 3-2. The total now down to 205.5, by the way. Reeves was terrible in his first game back, 4 of 16 from the floor. But here's an angle for you. Steve Makinen, VSiN.com. We encourage you to read his numbers every single day on all the sports that he covers throughout the entire year. We had 2 examples last night. They went 1-1. But road teams looking to close out a series in Game 6 of the first round are now 21-10 straight up, 22-9 ATS last 29 tries. 2 more tonight. Lakers catching the 3.5, and then Cleveland favored on the road at Toronto.
I think it goes 7 with Houston, and they become the 5th team ever to force a Game 7 after being down 0-3. Good observation by Tim McMahon, ESPN. They were number 1 in the league in offensive rebounding percentage. They have cut down on crashing the glass in order to get back on defense and lock up the Lakers and defend, and they've been excellent the last couple games. The other thing, if you want Thompson steals, or a lot of guys with the Rockets on, look at the steals the last couple games for Houston players, and especially Thompson. So it's been a tough go of it from 3. They're 24% from 3 the last couple games. Turnovers were a big issue and a big key, but they only scored 93 points in the Game 5 loss when they tried to close them out. Maybe they're right that Houston's a better team and they can do this even without Durant. But we'll see what LeBron's made of tonight. It's tough with the schedule now for the old man to go every other night. But I think Houston wins, and we're going 7 here. And they get it done. And not Donaghy, but Foster on the game again.
There you go. Easily predicted.
Yeah.
Or easily predictable, I should say. Called that one out the other day. You might as well call him Donaghy.
His buddy.
No kidding. But, so his nickname is the Extender for a reason. And I'm with you. I think they get the job done. Low scoring, though. I mean, look at this total again, 205.5.
Yep.
Are both teams below 100 again? It's going to be a slower pace, probably.
Especially if you're going to get back and make
That's right.
issue of it to get back on defense and also, not crash the glass as much as well. Also for the series props, Sengun still leads in rebounds, but it's close. Who's going to lead in points? Smith's had some big games. Shepard leads in made threes, but it's close. So a lot of stuff on the line here. So we'll see. There could be 6 Game 7s on Sunday. We'll see what happens tonight. This is a crazy night in sports.
Please allow that to happen. Here's an angle. I know that you're on the Magic again in this game tonight. And the latest numbers here across the screen on this game. Detroit, let me pull up the full game here. Yep. It's 3.5 pretty much everywhere. Total 210.5.
Yeah, we're 4s.
Yep. Number 1 seeds are 12-4 straight up, 10-6 ATS. Their last 16 first-round games when trailing in a series. However, Orlando 8-1 straight up and ATS last 9 games against the Pistons. Like you're absolutely crushing the series as any series that I can remember in years going back. And you got to keep. You've been doing it again since like Game 2, right? So you got to take the points here.
I don't think they can slow down Cunningham, though. And with Wagner out, I doubt he plays Game 7 as well. Because when you're talking about a calf injury, NBA organizations and staff thinks it's a precursor to an Achilles tear.
Yeah, and look at how many of those we've had to key players now going back to last year.
So I don't know when we see him again. But certainly he was the guy in charge of slowing down and defending Cade. And you saw what he did in the last game without him. Can Banchero do that again? But also, who helps out Cade? Harris is banged up. There's so many guys dealing with injuries right now. And this, again, might turn into a war of attrition. But the Pistons have to prove it to me. And, again, Orlando's been the better team. They're at home. You want to give me 3.5, I'll take it. Even though with Wagner out, I think Bain and Banchero's enough. And I still have my concerns about Duren. And the fact that Carter Jr. has outplayed him for much of this series as well. And the fact that Detroit had every opportunity to improve their team at the deadline, and they didn't do so. So they can come in totally loose. All the pressure's on Detroit. It'd be an epic fail to be the 1 seed and win 60 games and not even advance to the second round. And I think Orlando can win outright tonight.
I'll point this out that the Opta AI projections today at VSiN.com, I think this is the 4th consecutive day that they're buying low on somebody who's either off an injury or underperforming. 3 of their top edges today are on Jalen Duren props.
Oh, no.
But here's the deal, right? It's been going back now. It's Reeves in his first game back, It was Bridges the other night.
Bridges was great last night.
But it wasn't last night, though. It was the game before that.
The wrong one.
And who was the guy again yesterday that they were on? I'm blanking, but it was Aaron Gordon, and didn't even play.
Mm-hmm.
So you can go the other way on this stuff, too. I think I like it as a talking point. They're projecting almost 18 points and almost 10 rebounds. Those numbers would sail over his props for tonight, but he hasn't done it yet in the series.
Reeves will be better tonight. You know,
Agreed.
He was rusty in game one, or his first game back, rather, and they're going to need him tonight. He won't go 4 of 16. I've changed my mind on the other game as well. Toronto's dealing with too much now. Ingram's been downgraded to doubtful, and then Barnes hurt his quad in the second half and only had 3 points in the Game 5 loss. If that didn't happen, they were going to win the game. They had 15 offensive rebounds in the loss. Schroeder was great, a big reason why the Cavs won that game. It came back down, but now with the bad news, it's back up, and the Cavs laying 4.5. I just heard the Moose say he likes the Cavs, and I think Samich likes them as well. So I think this is the Cavs got to win this game. I mean, it's kind of like the Timberwolves, where how many guys are down or out, and plus, what are they going to be able to do on the boards? That's the other thing. And I think that's where Mitchell can have a big game, and Mobley and Allen can eat down low again as well. But if you have a compromised Barnes, if you don't have Ingram, I think it's too much for the Raptors to overcome here when they're bad at rebounding to begin with and they don't shoot threes.
How about your buddy Jakob Poeltl tonight, though?
Don't like him.
With the injuries, here's what I want to point out. So he's played in the series plenty. He had 14 and 9 in his last game. He has cleared 6 rebounds in, I think, all but one game so far this series. You can find over 5.5 minus 105. He's going to play. He's going to get rebounds. I think it's a really good bet on a super solid and available number still.
He's been giving CMB some run too in that one. But this is one they should win. They have too many guys that can score. The team that's had the most possessions is 4-1 in the series as well. Do with that what you want. Adjusted series price 1,600. 9-1 take back on the Raptors.
Yep. And I'll give you this tonight in hockey as well. I know Samich talked about this the other day when he was on with us, and when he was doing money moves earlier today with Moose. He reminded people that in the 3 series that we have going on tonight, Lightning Canadians, Sabres and Bruins, and the other one is Golden Knights and the Mammoth. Collectively, in those 3 series, the first period under is 22-7. It was the other 2, and we got it again last night, right? So it got there with Anaheim at Edmonton to go over one more time. Boy, did that thing explode late. I mean, 3-1 into the first.
Glad I talked you into it.
I wish. Thank you. I owe you for that one. I wish they would play like 100 more games.
No kidding. I still think... How do you think Utah feels? The lack of playoff experience is showing. But in NHL history, there have been 27 instances of a team trailing in the third period of all 5 games of a playoff series. 28 were behind in the series or had already lost after 5 games. Vegas leads 3-2.
I can't get over that stat.
You got to be kidding.
That's one of the most amazing. Out of all the stats we've heard this week, and we've had tons of them, that's one of the most, that's right at the very top.
Yes. Yep.
I can't get over that.
Yep. Most goals in the third period in the regular season, and they allowed the second fewest. Hello in play if it happens again. To win the last 2 games in overtime, and they trailed deep the last minute of the last game. And then the other thing is there are bad power plays, what Buffalo's doing, but then it's also what Utah's done. Not only are they 1-13 on a power play in the series, they've allowed 2 shorthanded goals, including the game winner in double overtime in the last game. So they have to be thinking we're the better team. Let's just protect the lead, as we've had the lead in the third period of every frickin' game, but we're down 3-2 in the series.
Yeah, overall, in terms of how the games are priced tonight, I think they're right where they should be. I don't see, I'd like to be on every dog in all 3 games, but I think the numbers are pretty right on point.
Alt 6.5's under?
Yes. And how about
in the first 2? Yeah, the Vegas game should go over 5.5.
How about you round robin the 3 games, first period under on all of them? You do 2s and 3s. Now, here's the deal. Like, if these were regular season games, again, but this is postseason hockey, so books know, and it's been trending that way anyway, every game in the first period is favored to go under. It's a totally different animal this time of year.
I'd go over 5.5 in the Vegas game and then alt under 6.5s in the first 2 in the Saturday game with Carolina and Philly. That's $1.60 on Saturday night.
Yeah.
Smarter bets start here. Last all year long with VSiN Pro for limited time. Get the annual subscription, normally $240 for just $199. Sign up today. We'll throw in 2 extra months for free. 14 months of VSiN Pro, less than 50 cents a day. Code PRO. Every best bet, every host, every guest. The DK Circa betting splits. 24/7 video and replays, the AI-powered prop tools, and the special edition guides for every major sport throughout the year. VSiN.com/subscribe, code PRO. VSiN.com/subscribe. Jump in now.
Colorado is about a $2.40 favorite in their series against Minnesota, higher than 2-1 in the take-back with the Wild. Any interest there?
I'll see what Eddie O says.
Yeah,
because now you got to be loose if you're Minnesota. But they're certainly had a hell of a team this year. But Colorado's a juggernaut. Maybe it's a low-scoring series.
Coming up, who ultimately wins the Prim? Nigel Seeley's going to join the program. He's also going to go over best bets with analysis. Find out which team he likes to win to nil at plus money next here on VSiN.
The guarantee? I hear it's massive.
They wouldn't do this unless it was something big.
There is no way it's that high.
I think it's even bigger.
It's huge. What? It's huge. Oh.
I'm down here at Circa, and I heard it's going to be gigantic. It's the biggest contest we've ever seen.
Seriously, what's the guarantee?
All right, guys. You're going to have to wait and see. The biggest pro football contests in the world are back. Visit circasports.com for more information.
Elevate your sports betting game with VSiN's exclusive betting splits. Stay ahead with real-time market trends and track bet percentages on any matchup. Then uncover the edge by comparing them to the amount of bets placed to find out where the sharp money is headed. Upgrade to VSiN Pro to access betting splits, live odds, line moves, power ratings, and in-depth game analysis. Go to VSiN.com/pro to join VSiN, the sports betting network.
This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Paulie, I'm willing to bet, and I think it's safe to say that our first guest today on the program, Nigel Seeley, joining us at I think around 9:30 p.m. his time. I think he's probably like in London right now on a Friday night. I'm guessing there's nothing that he would rather be doing right now than hopping on with us for 10 minutes to talk prim bets this weekend. Would I be correct on that, Nigel?
Mitch, you know me too well. You know me far too well. I would never have turned up an opportunity to come and speak to you guys. Honestly, you know, it's the hottest day of the year in London today. It's been dreadful all year. As you can see by my red face that I've been out in the garden sunbathing. The barbecue was on. Lots of friends have said to me, come on, we're going to go out to the pub, Stella's. I said, no. Going to speak to my old mate, Paulie Howard. Going to speak to him. So all the things I do for you guys. No, but it's good to be back. How are you both? Are you good?
It's great to see you. It's been far too long. And by the way, Nigel Seeley, follow him on X at Seeley_Nigel, Director of Content. Because we win, we're going to get to your best bets in the prim this week with some analysis. One following this very hard-hitting question. Who do you think ultimately wins the prim?
Mitch, I mean, that's been the question that we've been asking over here for the last few weeks. Obviously, it was advantage Arsenal. Now it's an advantage Manchester City. The two teams at the top of the table are neck and neck. There's nothing between the two of them. Its goal difference is almost exactly the same. Points are exactly the same. It's going to come down to who scores the most goals, I think it might be. It's a genuine toss of a coin job here. You've got a team like Manchester City who are just preliminary winners, win everything they do, put the foot on the gas, and just come through this stage of season winning matches. And you've got Arsenal who are perennial runners-up. My heart tells me Arsenal because my son is a big Arsenal fan. We're going to Arsenal. We're going to the game tomorrow against Fulham. We're cheering Arsenal on, but I just think that one team knows how to win, and the other team knows how to have failure. And I think that at this crucial time in the season, it doesn't matter what sport you're in, when you're at the crucial game time, the team with the experience usually gets through. And I think that Man City will do. I'd love to see Arsenal win it for my son and for a lot of my friends. Obviously, they're a London team. I'd like to see a London team do well. But I just feel that know-how at these business end of the season, Man City will probably edge it.
Yeah. They have issues scoring, and they're coming off the 1-0 win in the last game. Do you see the same type of game tomorrow? 1-0, 2-0?
I tell you what, Paulie, I've been to the Emirates to watch Arsenal play about 4 or 5 times in the last 6 or 7 games when they've been in this title race. It's so nervous. There is the nervous energy in the crowd. Before the game, they play their anthem. The crowd gets going. Everyone gets supporting Arsenal. They start singing their songs. 2 minutes into the game, it's nervous energy. And that is coming across on the players. That's coming across, and the manager is running up and down the touchline, like just full of nervous energy. They're so close to making history. These teams, they haven't won a Premier League title for a very long time, and you can just sense it. If they don't score early, then the pressure on them is immense. I went to the last home game when they played Bournemouth in the Premier League. They got beat 2-1. They were absolutely played off the park by Bournemouth. Bournemouth were exceptional that day. But I've just got a feeling that they'll have enough against this Fulham side. Fulham are a team that have got nothing to play for in the Premier League. They're in that mid-table obscurity. They can't get relegated. They can't get promoted. They can't go into European football. They've got nothing to play for. And as you can see, Bella, their last few matches, their statistics, their data is not as good as it was at the early part of the season. I think they failed to score now in 5 of their last 6 Premier League games. They look a team that are rebuilding for next season. And then a remarkable stat here, Fulham Football Club were founded in 1879. So that's 147 years. I think that's one of my maths. And in those 147 years, they've never, ever won at Arsenal Football Club. Incredible. Never, ever gone to Arsenal and never won in their history. So the omens don't look good for Fulham. The fact they're not scoring goals, I can see this being a 1-0, 2-0 Arsenal win. And I think Arsenal are around about minus 220 on the money line to win this match. But if you want to boost it up to Arsenal to win to 0, I've written about it on the VSiN column. Yep. It's plus 125. I think that's a decent bet. Arsenal are just winning ugly at the moment, and it doesn't matter how they win as long as they get the win here. If they win this match, they go favourites again for the Premier League title. I think it'll be 1 or 2-0 against the Fulham side. I think it's a perfect time to play them. The manager at Fulham as well has been linked with the job at Chelsea. And geographically, Fulham and Chelsea is only about 2 miles apart. So he wouldn't have to move house. He wouldn't have to do anything. He wouldn't have to take his kids out of school. He's always been after a bigger job. I think it's a good time to play Fulham, and Arsenal will just about get the job done, but it's going to be nervy.
All right. There's always great information and a breakdown. So you come back, you mention them, Bournemouth against Crystal Palace. Do you think they get it done and win?
I'll tell you what, I was really, really impressed with Bournemouth. I think they're a very, very small club in this country in terms of the capacity of their stadium geographically, but they play some brilliant football. They're on the longest unbeaten run in the Premier League, Bournemouth. They're unbeaten in 15 matches now. Drawn a lot of matches as well. Went to Arsenal and won, but they look really, really good. And they play a Crystal Palace side. Obviously, I've got connections to Crystal Palace. My family, my brother's a Crystal Palace fan. And Crystal Palace are on the verge of making European final for the first time in their history. On Thursday night, they played in the Europa Conference League and went to Poland and won 3-1. They've got the return leg at Selhurst Park at home the following Thursday. And if you speak to anybody at Crystal Palace, they have given up really on the league. Fans have given up on the league. All they care about is getting into the European Cup final, winning a European trophy for the first time. And I think they might get rolled over in this match. I think they will rest a lot of players. I think their key players will be rested. I think they'll bring them back for the big match on Thursday. And the other thing, which is a very, very important factor, is Bournemouth are currently 7th in the Premier League. And there is a possibility that Champions League football could go down to 6th spot in the Premier League if Aston Villa win the Europa League. Currently, there's 5 spots available in the Premier League. But European football is guaranteed for someone in 6th. In 6th place is Crystal Palace's arch rivals, their nemesis, Brighton Football Club. They do not like Brighton Football Club. And if they lose this game or they don't win this game, it gives Bournemouth an opportunity to overtake their rivals to have a tricky match at Newcastle. So I think Crystal Palace fans aren't really too bothered about this. So I like Bournemouth. They're a very short price. They're minus 165, minus 170, which is unheard of for Bournemouth Football Club to be at that kind of price. But they are very good. I think the manager at Bournemouth is one of the best managers in the Premier League. Would go on to bigger and better things. Perhaps be the manager at Chelsea, could be the manager at Newcastle. He's been linked with a lot of jobs, Manchester United as well. And I think Bournemouth will beat Crystal Palace because I think Crystal Palace will have one eye on the Europa Conference League second leg match on Thursday night. And I think they'll rest all their players for that match.
Phenomenal. Love it. How about a prop in Man U Liverpool? Your tag team partner, Meat Man, likes it over. But you have a prop here that's interesting. State the case here, please.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you've been betting one man and one man only to score or assist this year in the Premier League, that would be Bruno Fernandes. I mean, he's on the verge of getting the assist record in the Premier League. That's Manchester United's captain, their main man this season. I think if he was playing for Manchester City or he's playing for Arsenal, he would be talked about in the contenders for the Ballon d'Or. He's had which is the best player in the world. He's had a brilliant season. He's not the most likeable character because he's in your face. He's rowing with referees. But you can't overstate what he's done on the pitch this season for Manchester United, scoring goals, important goals. He's on penalties, he's on free kicks, he's set pieces, everything. And the books haven't really sort of taken into account his record. I think he's had 20 assists in the Premier League this season, which is a phenomenal amount of assists. He averages a goal or assist in every other game he plays. And you can bet him at minus 106, I believe, to have an assist in this match or score a goal. It's a game that's going to be goals. I think there's going to be goals. I actually quite like Manchester United to win this because Liverpool are going to they've got injury concerns to the goalkeeper, Alisson Becker, who's out. The third choice goalkeeper will be playing for Liverpool. They've got Mo Salah, who's a doubt as well, and Ekitike, who's out as well. So I quite like Man United in this fixture. I think it'd be a high goal-scoring game. And if you think that Man United will probably get 2 or more goals, which I expect them to do, Bruno Fernandes is going to be part and parcel of those goals. So I think Bruno Fernandes to score or assist at around about even money. He should be lower than that. Statistically, his record and his goal output and his assist output this season should make him a lot shorter than that in the betting. But I think he'll have a good one.
Yeah, in your analysis at VSiN.com, you wrote about him, and it was minus 103 at the time.
Yeah, minus 103. I think last week as well, we put him up as a bet, and he won as well. So that was good. A big week in the Championship as well. There's an opportunity for 3 teams in the Championship in England tomorrow. It starts at 7:30 Eastern Time. 3 teams can go into the Premier League. You've got the opportunity for Ipswich, Millwall or Middlesbrough. Fascinating day. So watch that out. I think in play tomorrow in the Championship, you're going to get up nice and early to watch that. One of those 3 teams will be back in the Premier League. And if you're looking for a bet outside of the big divisions, I quite like Luton tomorrow to win at Bolton. They're around about plus 150. They need to win to get in the playoffs. Their main rivals at the division have got tricky matches as well against teams fighting relegation. Luton play Bolton. Bolton are already in the playoffs. Luton need to win. They're managed by Jack Wilshere, former Arsenal player, and I think they'll win in League One. So Luton will be my best bet outside the Premier League, but go with those three Premier League bets. Arsenal to win to nil. I'm going to get Bournemouth minus 0.75 on the Asian handicap. Put him in the money line for a parlay. And finally, Bruno Fernandes to get a goal or assist at a little bit under even money.
Awesome.
Appreciate you.
Man, we miss you, lad. Thanks for the time.
Yeah, take care, boys. I'm practicing my PKs.
Do it.
Paulie, so make sure you're ready, because I took 77 today and scored 76. You better get it working hard.
He's trash talking you every single day, so keep that in mind as well. You can go to bed now, buddy. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to go get some Stellas. We've still got an hour before the pub's close. Take care.
Win and lose up next. Depends on where you shop, but 30, 50, 70 to 1. We're out there on a player to do something he already accomplished last night.
VSiN's player prop projection tool is now available for the NBA. Get projections for points, assists, rebounds, and more powered by Opta AI. On VSiN.com/NBA props, we line up our projections against the latest DraftKings odds so you can quickly spot mismatches and find value before the market adjusts. The NBA player prop projections tool is available exclusively to VSiN Pro subscribers. Check it out now at VSiN.com/NBA props and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
Your favorite VSiN shows and personalities are now available to download as podcasts. Catch every hour of our live broadcast with VSiN Best Bets, or find your go-to show and download it directly. Get instant reactions to last night's games, sharp analysis on today's biggest matchups, and everything in between. Whether you're commuting, working out, or just catching up, VSiN lets you take the action with you wherever and whenever you want. Search VSiN on your favorite podcast platform and get in on the action with VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Win Some, Lose Some is sponsored by the Sharp Plays. Were you a winner last night?
Wow, winning.
Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser!
Paulie Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
The job that the Timberwolves organization has done to build this roster up and the depth. You're down to 8 players. You lose 3 key guys. You still beat Denver. And you lost the most improved player in the offseason to Atlanta as well. Plus 250 to win the game. Plus 350 to win the series after game 1. To win every game at home in the series, plus 475. The Minnesota parlay hits as well. Most points in the game, McDaniels 18-1. Lance had him 30 points, 12-1, 25 points, plus 430. Shannon to score 20 was 10-1. Cam Johnson, most threes in the game, plus 950. And now you're a huge dog against the Spurs, but what a story, and the place was rocking.
I'll ask you this right now. So if they bow out to San Antonio, right? No shame in that. We'll see how it goes. If Edwards comes back, whatever. Do they still get active and go after Giannis in the offseason? Because I got to tell you, players like Jaden McDaniels and Terrence Shannon look way more attractive today than they did 24 hours ago.
Yeah. Well,
and I'm a big McDaniels guy. I've always liked him.
They were apparently in on it, but Milwaukee wasn't playing ball. So, but I know Pat Riley wants in on it too. But they have a lot to offer, no doubt. Sixers plus 180. A 1% chance to win the series at Kelce after game 1. Embiid led in assists again, 7-1. Most made threes, Paul George plus 750. 17 of the last 19 games, he's scored 15 or more. For the second time in the series, Cat had a triple-double. 40-1 at DK, 30-1 at another book, 70 at FanDuel. I saw the tickets. How was it that high again? We mentioned how his assist prop was way off because he's playing point center now. And he led in assists again, and that cashed 10-1. And he did the ladder. 9 assists was plus 775.
I know it.
He was 3.5. Keep an eye on that moving forward.
Right, so this is going to be matchup dependent potentially, and if it is, and it is going to be a thing, I will tell you this right now. Looking at prices to be the Eastern Conference Finals MVP, you'd have to look at Cat. I'd look at OG as well.
Oh, he's been a beast.
He's turning into an absolute monster.
Now, Atlanta had no size, but certainly how well they've played. And Cat got a triple-double, and he took 4 shots. Most points in the game, OG 15-1. Most threes, OG 5-1. The Knicks went on a 65-10 run. 7th team to win a playoff game by 50+. Wild win the series for the first time since 2015. Hughes' first goal of the game, 33-1. Ducks won last night, 2-1 series price, plus 350 after game 1. All 6 first periods went over.
I got to point out, that goal from Hughes, when he was purposely trying to shoot it off of the opponent's skate, or he was trying to get a ricochet there at the net, and that's exactly what happened. Like, how good are these guys? Mm-hmm. That's the only chance that angle had it to go in, and he's like, I see it right now unfolding in front of me. I got to make it happen.
Let's go out to Hawaii for the treadmill mobile gym with this gal. This is strong. Comes in running across the street. Get ready for a workout. Look at this coming. Oh, ready to go. And she knows what's up. Going right on the treadmill, getting a workout here. With the mobile gym. Got the toy. Going after it. Like the hamster wheel. Here it is. Yeah, look at that face. Got the toy going on the treadmill the whole time. Getting the cardio workout. Man, you send the dog across the street to get a workout in with the trainer. This is excellent.
I got to tell you, I love the creativity.
Wow.
I love the imagination that goes into, I can build a business out of this. I hope this person knocks it out of the park.
Yeah.
Love that idea if it actually
strong.
works.
Yeah, look at that face, too. That's excellent. Lose some. Atlanta Hawks down 62-19 at home in an early second quarter playoff game. 83-36 at the half. I don't think you see that again. How can that happen? And the Stars scored 4 goals in the series, 5-on-5. How does that happen? And I talked to Rich in Canada and Matt Humans after the show. I said that should never happen, what Adam Scott did. That he hit the wrong golf ball yesterday and had a 2-stroke penalty. And bad beats, for the first time since 1959, the Giants blew both games of a doubleheader in the 9th inning. And I will point out, when the Phillies fired Joe Girardi, and Thompson took over. They rattled off an 8-game winning streak. Maybe they do the same thing now.
Maybe. I'll give you this, too. Susan Slusser has covered baseball, she said on Twitter, for 30-plus years. She covers the Giants now, used to cover the A's.
Yeah.
She said in her time covering baseball over that 3 decades plus, she's never seen a series go that badly for one team. Called it that bad.
Yeah. Demoralizing. No doubt. Sports calendar never stops. Sharp Plays covers it all. They've been winning for 15 straight years, all of it documented. Logs posted publicly, sharpplays.com. When they move, the books take notice. Advanced AI, trusted insider intel. They find the value before the numbers shift. Respected, watched, and feared. Daily Mr. Poison tweets. Look for the Derby picks as well. Start winning with them. Sharpplays.com.
So they don't mess around here at Circa. Derek Stevens is dynamite in this racket. The contests have gotten bigger every single year. Survivor is it's growing exponentially for 5 years in a row now. And there's always a guarantee put on it, right? That they're going to give out. And every year he puts together a commercial here promoting the contest. And this is the version for 2026.
The guarantee? I hear it's massive.
They wouldn't do this unless it was something big.
There is no way it's that high.
I think it's even bigger.
It's huge. What? It's huge. Oh.
I'm down here at Circa, and I heard it's going to be gigantic. It's the biggest contest we've ever seen.
But seriously, what's the guarantee?
All right, guys. You're going to have to wait and see. The biggest pro football contests in the world are back. Visit circasports.com for more information.
Can't wait to hear the number this year.
That's our guy Nish who got in there. That's excellent.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah. So Derek doesn't screw around, like I said. How high is it going to be this year? What's that next rung on the ladder going to look like?
They're the only game in town, too. That's the other thing.
Pretty much.
Bad news with the Westgate.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So, Eddie Olczyk, by the way, on the program coming up at 5:15 Eastern Time, 2:15 out here on the West Coast. Eddie, of course, always on the NHL coverage along with the Kentucky Derby. We'll get his analysis of the running for the Roses coming up, number 152 overall, and then hopefully a couple of questions on hockey as well. If we can get one in, we got to ask him, I think, if the Wild are, like, how live would they be, in his opinion, against Colorado? I know Colorado, they're way up here, but Minnesota, probably the second best team in hockey anyway, overall.
I want to see how many teams can close it out tonight. And what do we have looking at on Sunday? I want to see how Buffalo responds after Swayman was so good. They got the early power play goal, and then that was it. 4 minutes in, couldn't score the rest of the game. They were excellent in the 2 games in Boston. Like Ruff said, they played their best period of hockey in Game 4, the first period. This Montreal series has been an insanity. 4 games in a row, 3-2. This would be the 4th straight first-round exit for the Lightning if they go out. Montreal scored the first goal 4 of the 5 games. And the Utah-Vegas series is drunk, where, again, Utah has had a third-period lead in every game, yet they trail 3-2.
I will give you odds right now. These are available when you snoop around. Connor McDavid's next team, if, in fact, something were to happen in the offseason, San Jose is the shortest shot on the board at 4-1. How would that look if he actually played with Macklin Celebrini?
I'd like to see him go to Toronto, if he goes anywhere.
Toronto, they are third on the board at 6-1.
Yeah.
In between those two teams, Chicago at 5-1. I would not laugh at the Golden Knights, 4th on the board at 7-1. They are so active, and they do not like being like above average is not good enough for this franchise. As we've seen since day one, they do not settle. They are always very aggressive. And if we heard rumors about this team trying to put something together for McDavid, I kind of expect that, to be honest. They seem to always shoot for the stars, and that would be the biggest one imaginable. There was a stat, though, I think I sent it over to you guys, on the age of the best players of all time when they last won a Stanley Cup, because in the playoffs next year, in theory, he's going to be 30 years old. Here it is. The last time the greats won a Stanley Cup, Gordie Howe was 27. Bobby Orr was 24. Gretzky was 27. Lemieux, 26. Sid the Kid, 29. Alex Ovechkin, 32. Yager was 20. I can't get over that.
It's hard to win. Marino, McDavid, Joker's got one. Tatum and Brown, all that talent with the Celtics, only one. Joker probably only gets one. And it's also
probably
on the organization.
Giannis only gets one.
They could never figure out this defense thing. But they were, they lose in 7, they lose in 6. They got close 4 years in a row. They lost to the team that won the cup, but they could never get that star goalie. That's what bothered me.
Yep. The Friday night playoff schedule is up next. You could see this coming from a mile away. You just knew the NBA was going to